Well folks, I'm here at a small, well it's a large fishery with a monstrous tackle shop in Surrey. A little bit of breeze which I'm extremely grateful for. It is blazingly hot. I've got the biggest umbrella I could find. It's about 6 foot span on it to give me some shade. Don't want to put it down here, but you know, sideways, because that way I don't get the airflow. I need the airflow. It's going to be, I think it's going to be record temperatures today. This is, as I do this one, middle of September, 30 plus degrees. It's frighteningly warm. Anyhow, I've not had a great summer for tench. I'm hoping to catch a small tench here. They're only little ones. It's a fun pond. Grant from Grant's Tackle Up sent me over here. I'm only on an OAP £5 one rod day ticket for 3 hours, but he assures me I will catch a good mishmash of fish just out of this small pond here. So I've already thrown a handful of maggots in. He said margin fishing, so I've plumbed the depth up. There's my plumb weight. You see, he's got the hook in the bottom of the cork. It's an antique one. It's about 45-50 years old, and I'm using, trust me, I haven't rigged this one up. This is one of Grant's ready-made rigs. I hold it against the sky. Hopefully you can see all the shot there. I wouldn't even be able to see him. That's right, it's a match fishing tactics pole float, and the float there. So all I do is just take them out of the packet. Look, there's one. You can see that, people. This is all they forget the make. You know, you can take carp on it. Got a small hook. What is it? 12 to something or other, elastic hook size 14. That's all I want. You just take them off these winders like this, and all there's 4 pole elastic. I just, to be honest, cut about 3 feet off and just tied it to my fishing line on my reel, and that will do me. So he assures there's a bit of everything in here. I've got to mix a bit of ground bait up. I won't use much, but I've got some leftover casters and rubbish there. I've got a few, I think, what are these? These have come out of the freezer. They're floaters, but I've already seen some rudd cruising around there, so presuming I'm going to catch rudd, I'm hoping, on the drop. And in very hot weather like this, they're the one species that will feed. Not a great deal of ground bait, but again, Grant assures me you can do little pellets of it close in. So let's wet this up first. Now, definitely don't need to put too much in here water wise, because I have no more ground bait. It is this. Now, with this Bailey's feed, I've got quite a bit of brown in there. All I need to do is just let that sort of soak a little bit to bind up. And then I'm going to be fishing while I'm standing there, so close. There. And I'm sitting here, thankfully, in the shade. Get a little bit closer. Match rod, reel, same old setup you've seen me use before. Hopefully we need the hat. It's all small fish. I don't think there's any big fish in here. You know, like 20 pounders, I don't know, maybe there is. I've got maggots which I can bail in, and the guy at the shop there said you can fish sometimes right tight in here to the margins, and you might get fish just on the edge of the margins as well. So we'll bung those in at the same time. The reason I put the maggots in with a ground bait like this is because I'd like to catch a tench. I like tench, I do like tench. I'm not going to say I don't, I do. But I haven't been able to catch any big ones this year. I haven't spent a lot of time for them. If I throw in loose feed, yeah, look, there's rudd coming up on the top. Throw in loose feed, a lot of those maggots aren't even going to get to the bottom, and the tench aren't coming to the top. They're a bottom feeding species. So I'm just going to fish pellets like this around my float. I just throw this one in, and I'm squeezing it quite tight, because if I hold that just for a second or two, can you see the maggots breaking out, coming out? But already I've got half dozen. Look, see how they come out if I hold it? So they're wriggle on the bottom. This will take them down to the bottom, and hopefully, that's my theory for a tench, squash the maggots in there quite tight, so they've got to fight to get out. That's as far as I want to fish. Hand wipe. Yes, my God, I'm organised. I think double maggots, treble maggots to start with. Well, you can use white maggots, but I think the reds might actually attract the tench a bit better. So I'm going to start. This is a commercial day ticket fishery, guys. It's not like we need to creep around in camouflage gear, is it? You know, big bunch of maggots, because I would like to catch a tench, or they tell me in here, crucian carps. Got to watch the float because apparently they're quite dippy bites. Hopefully you guys can see that float out there. I'll point the rod up at it. I'm on. Look at this. I need to get closer. I need to get them out there. Let's get myself properly organised for you people. That's just about a swinger, Graeme. So first cast, people, a nice hand size, I'm going to call it a skimmer. Not quite a skimmer, is it, that one? It's like a small silver. Well, that is a start and a half. Grant did say it's what would you call a fun fishery? Oh, already there's tangle time straight away. And the benefit being, the bream are going to be on the bottom like the tench, hopefully. Oh, that's straight away. That feels like a perch. It was a perch. Good bit of fun fishing, obviously, if you get action like this in different species. There's the bite. I'm going to come in a little bit closer. That small fish. And I think I can chuck a few of these. Like, these are floaters. They're floaters. They might pull right up on the surface. Some will sink, but the majority of them will. So you can see all those maggots in that ground bait. It's quite easy at this close range to actually see when you throw your pellet of ground bait in. Oh, I missed that one. Where your actually ground bait goes by all those bubbles, so I know that's my area. When there's no wind, you can actually get your float pretty accurate to where you bait it up. So I can see small rudd out there going under the surface. Quite decent rudd, you know, like that sort of size. But I'd need to be fishing about 6 inches deep and then loose feed maggots if I want to catch them, which I may well try later. See, you probably won't see them swimming through the area. There's one on the surface there. No doubt if I fed loose maggots, they'll come up. Pleasant enough little spot, you know, reed fringed, small, typical, what we call farm pond sized. I'm never afraid to move that float on a commercial fishery like this. Well, throwing maggots in then and missed another fish. Trying to get rid of these floaters on the surface. You can see the rudd starting to come up there. These are all old baits that I've just put in either sandwich bag or cling film, frozen them down, because you can see there's a mixture of what we call like stretch maggots, those brown ones, these ones, and actual casters. And the fish do eat all of them. So they're all going to go in. Yeah, these ones are more maggots that have turned stretched. And you think they're no good. Look, I'm not saying they're the world's best hook baits, of course they're not, but they are all usable for the fish. Doesn't hurt to bounce between You know, I've got two colours there, red and white. Quite like red for tench. Probably this time of year don't make any difference. Let's try the white. Generally I would say for roach rudd and stuff like that, the white tends to attract, I think, the other fish like roach and rudd. There's rudd taking off the top. Go. Now you see the circle that's made. While it's still there, I can cast right in the middle of it like a target, draw my float back, and then just set it down. I should really have two rod rests here, but listen, they tell me it's a small fish water, so I'm sure I can get to the rod. Quite a big complex. I've got a match going on at the lake over there. Maybe I'll have a walk around later on. It's so hot with the float going to the side. Probably a sign that I'm over depth. I did put it up about 4 inches. No, let's go back in. I think he's... Oh, there you go. Weed. Just enough to put the fish off. I can actually see the bubbles still there, so I can pull back into where I think the ball of ground bait went. Lots of rod there. Gonna have to shallow this float up at some stage. Might even be able to just use the bare hook of the float and watch where the line enters the water as the maggot sinks slowly. What we used to call it lashing years ago for chub. Come on, fish. Lots of dippy bites. Generally sized small fish. Really nice to get a crucian, a tench. What have we got this time? Another bream. The usual acrobatic fighting of a bream. Not. There we go. There's a fish. You catch these all day long. You can't grumble, can you? In weather like these temperatures, you can see it sends the maggots completely crackers. But of course, if you don't keep them cool, they will turn quite quickly. These won't, because they're going to be used as bait. I'm going to try a bunch of red again. Busy road over there by the side. Very, very still. We're moaning about wind as anglers, and then we say, oh, now it's too still. Of course, what's quite nice is, although it's a very small pool, 1, 2, 3, I think I have 4 other anglers on it. They've got rushes, so it's all grown, so you're not sort of conscious of the anglers being on top of you, which is quite nice. Boy, am I glad I bought this trolley. Got a lot of Sahara sand up in the sky. Apparently they did say it would be coming, and they said it's going to make it even warmer, and it is. Slight red tinge. Apparently it's going to be a stunning sunset. Might get out and have a look at it tonight. Now, I think, having seen the rod on the top, I need to show you guys the rod. I think if I shallowed that float right up, just put 2 maggots on and fed loose, I feel I could get some rudd. Trouble is I want a sandwich as well. Way better fish, guys, way better fish. He's sending up loads of bubbles. Look at catfish. Oh yeah. Here we go. Ah, that is worth coming alone for. Just the one fish. Bunch of red maggots. That's why they're such a powerful fish with that big tail here. So nice fish to catch, especially this time of year. And we get them straight back.
Alright, can we just have a look?
Oh, fish, yeah, sure.
That's a nice tench.
Yeah.
About £3.
Yeah.
2.5, £3. Lovely.
In this heat it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. Well, bunch of maggots. I think I just plodded along doing that. So wouldn't it be nice to get a crucian? Oh, missed it. Just over there. Pleased to catch that temperature. Boy, is it hot. Listen, get yourself. Mike got me this one. I'm not saying the brand, mate. Just get one of these cool bags that got those silver liners in them. And in the hot weather, just for your own sandwiches, put one of those frozen blue packs in there. Put your sandwiches on it. And of course, if I wanted to keep these chilled for another session, I could put those in there as well, the maggots. I mean, a lot of beach guys, they don't do anything but keep their bait chilled all the time. Not just in... Where is he? Smith's here somewhere. One-handed cast. That could have been a tench. A load of bubbles just came up. It's annoying, but it is what it is. I'm talking to you lot. You might be able to see the bubbles if I stand up. No, you won't see them there. But there are plenty of bubbles out there. Yeah, keep everything cool, either for your bait or you know, just for your sandwiches and your drink, because it is blindingly hot. I've got loads of bubbles out there now, people with more ground bait going in. So it might have moved in on the swim. I've done two things. I've put a front rod rest up and a back rod rest here. So I literally have to go like a match from here to there. That's all I have to do to reach the rod. I don't have to bend down like this all the time. I feel like I might get another decent fish out of this. The rudder's still cruising, not taking a huge amount off the top, but I'm sure chuck some maggots out there. I'm sure they'd be into the loose feed if I kept it going in like that on the little and often basis, but we'll try that in a minute. And of course, you've got different types of bubbles. Fish make different types of bubbles. The tench make a sort of fizzy, foamy bubble that tends to stay on the surface a lot. That's why I know there's tench down there. You can also get single bubbles from perch and multiple bubbles that just pop from normally bream. And of course carp, big bubbles, big mouth when they suck a load of food up there, gobbling away at it, blowing up. Oh, nearly. Now, some of those float bites like that, when I go for it, it's just like this. Could be fish in the swim digging around and they just bump into your line, and the float's so sensitive they give you a little twitchy bite. I like it to go under half a second, just stay under. I might actually, to be honest, there's so many bubbles, I think I might go and get my other camera out of the car, which is probably cooking anyway, and see if I can zoom in on the float and some of the fish there, because you won't see them without polarising glasses. So still. It is. My goodness me. Global warming gone mad. Well, it's been a long time between bites, and that was a really slow pull sideways. Seems to be pulling too hard for a bream. Guess what, guys? It is hopefully the bream, the tench, and now that is what I call a grand slam. Real nice seclusion. Well, that's what Grant said we're in here as well. Look at this. Come here, buddy. Well pleased with that one. Let's get it back. That was a weird bite. It was just towing the float along the surface, and I'm trying to rig up a rod to have a go and try and catch you people to rudd. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I'll take it. Well, it appears I'm on again, but I don't know what. Tench. Lovely. Well, I was just trying to sort my rudd fishing rod up, and it's gone away with, looks like a small silver. I wonder what time they finish their match. Well, steady, do you know what I mean? This time of year, A, you don't expect this weather, and B, I certainly don't expect tench and crucian carp, but it's going to change the weather, and that's why I've made this decision to come and have a 3.5, maybe might even get 4 hours out of this session. Wow, a long one. Well, I've thrown maggots in for quite a while now, just loose feeders. I'm going to change over, bring this rod in, leaving it as long as I can obviously. I've rigged the other rod up. It's only a quiver tip rod, but it'll just get me out and see if I can't catch you guys with rudd. You've got to keep a bit of loose feed going in without attracting those ducks, hopefully. Let's move this one in. Put it in there. Let's see if we can't. I've got a small float on this, just a stick float. I've got to fish it very shallow, literally the length of the hook length, which is there, about 14 inches. I'll try 2 red maggots. Pinch of maggots. Let's just see if we can't catch a rudd. Some are quite nice, I've seen. Float's a little bit heavy, but oh, or is it? Out we go with the maggots. They're still there. I can see a little swirl. I might have to go to single maggot and what we call lashing. Just swishing it backwards and forwards, free lining. There we go, hopefully. It is in fact a roach, not a rudd. That's another species. What have we got this time? Or roach. I've seen some pretty decent fish go through there when I've fed heavily. Well, more roach. I guess that was roach I was seeing, not rudd. And there we have Mr. Rudd. Do you know what? He came to a slightly deeper fish bait rather than a service one, which I find strange. Even more strange, he's unhooked himself. Look at that. In the sunlight. What a fish. Nice little session, mixed fish. Makes a change not to see any carp, I have to say. Lovely jub. Lovely jubbly. Go on. Well, I made a very bad mistake of having to walk around all the 2 lakes here. 1, 2, 3 lakes here. The guy's got about 40 pounds in a match over there. He said he actually got the record. I said, how big did they go? And he says 140 pounds he's got the match record. Because by the time you watch this film, you know I put them up ages later. It's probably been broken again. I'll come back to the swim. No bubbles. I'll put the ground bait back in. But I'll just show you. You can still fish a small hook with the big bait, but this sort of way that I do it. I suppose the downside of these ready-made rigs is that all these sort of purpose-built shot are put on there, but if I want them up here, I can't really slide all those, and if I start losing them, I'm going to lose my float and depth and stuff. Right, so let's say we want to put, I'll use white maggots purely because they stand out a bit more. Hope you can see this. They are going crackers in this heat, as am I. Right, I'll put the first one, that end in first, okay? Thread it round, roll it round, pop it out the bottom, what we call the pointy end of the maggot. Got to do it with the nails. I personally pop it just over the eye of the hook like that. Now, you could put standard procedure. Look, this is a size 14. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 maggots there, right? Okay, that's fine, but you've hooked them through the fat end. So I feel, look, of course I caught fish like it, of course I have. But if you want to put more maggots on, you're going to mask the point of the hook and it'll be one gob of maggots. You might miss a fish. So I pull these off, don't waste them, throw them back in for fishies. Same principle, you pull it over the eye, but then just go barely nicking the pointy end, which I'm calling the head. And you can tell when the maggots are fresh because they'll have a black feed spot in them. Right, I've already got 3 on, and I haven't masked the bait, have I? Because the bulk of the maggot body, there you go, is held only by the point on the hook. The bulk of the body is all around the back. I'll probably throw this out and catch nothing, but that's how I want to fish a big bait. And avoid things like roach and rudd should I not want them. I might not want them. So I can avoid them and hopefully get one bite from, say, a bream, a tench, crucian carp, what I call something decent. Now I won't have much longer left, an hour or so. Out go the maggots. And the number of roach in this place. The number of roach that appear to be going around shoveling all these loose maggots up. I'm so pleased I put them in with the ground bait. Because as they go down, they're probably going to get nailed before they even get to the bottom, and it's bait on the bottom that I want. And already, because with the ground bait, I've got fish bubbling. Right, I'm going to throw this one a bit farther out. Here we go. And we'll just sit and wait and see if we can't pick an extra fish or 2 off. Bubbles round the float already. In fact, they can have another pinch because I won't be They shut at 5:30 here, so 5:30 I'll be packing up. Oh man, look at those bubbles out the other side, just where I'm not. The guy in the match said that they got tension off the left-hand lake on Corlett. I've got no idea what the names are, I've never been here before. But he said there are actually, for the area, quite a few tension here. Now I've got bubbles on the float, you see, right round it. We'll see if the multiple maggot technique does work. Oh dear, my 50-year-old chair's about to have gone. It's all busted, it's been fixed 100 times, snapped completely, and now you see I've got to use my camera tripod to hold myself up on the chair. So it feels like I think the old boy is done. 50 odd years. The most lightweight chair ever known to an angler. And a personal companion on many a successful fishing trip. Come on fish, let's have another couple. Well, that was a weird bite, guys. Good fish though. Probably going to stand up for this one. Ooh, that was a real slow bite. I want to see what it is. Follow me. Follow me around here. Feels tenchy, I think. Oh, gold. Big piece of gold. Oh, this is a proper one. But that was a weird bite, I have to say. There we go, people. What do you think? That's what really a lot of anglers nowadays come for. A nice crucian carp like that. Wow. Good session. Even if I finish, that'll be a nice fish for me. I wish I could say I saw this one, people, but I didn't. I was messing around and the rod went off to the side. Quite a nice tench. Not jumbo, but good fun on a match rod. Well, still bubbles out there, but I'm getting through the ground bait now, so as I have early closing at this fishery, it might as well just go in there. It's better off. It's not going to catch any fish in here, is it? That's the thing. It's going to be such a nasty accident one day with this tripod. Sitting on a man sitting on a tripod, how dangerous is that? Good fish on, people. In the weeds. Oh, look at this. Come on. Yes. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's got to be fish of the day, that one, people. That on that little float, that pole float and a match rod, that's what it's about. Classic fish. Right, ground bait's gone, guys. Throw the last of this in. The remaining maggots, to be honest, I think I might, if I don't have any manic floats going down, I think it's enough there just to bung in the freezer in a bag. See how I get through them. Got about barely an hour left. Look at this, look. Nobody got one of these old chairs they can let me have. Aluminium, lightweight, 50 years old. Only 4 owners. Another tench, albeit a small one. So it's pretty good to finish off with. Well, I think we're done. It's about 15 minutes of closing time. Obviously going to have one more cast right to close up the old torn umbrella. Been so grateful for it in this baking heat. But what a session. Indian summer. Just goes to show you can't write it all off, can you? Not bad little set. I've got a feeling I'll be back on that big lake where they've got even bigger crucian carp. And some lovely lily beds as well. Just a nice area to fish. And I don't know what, 43/4 an hour for me makes up for the losing the old berry one, you know, the old main lake and that there, and the crucians over that way. So this will be nice. Thanks for watching the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. We'll see you in the next programme. Fingers crossed, even if it's short like this, it's just as successful and cooler.